Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share my full review, the digitally digested segment, for the UPERFECT Lapdock. This retails for a little over $500 US. I'll include a link in the description, and in full disclosure, this was furnished to me by the manufacturer for review purposes. So if you don't know what a lapdock is, I'm really not surprised, because I haven't had to talk about one here on the channel for a literal decade. And that's because roughly a dozen years ago, Motorola introduced lapdocks as companion products, which I thought were quite brilliant because they allowed you to turn your smartphone into a full-blown computer. Simply by docking your phone on the back, it would charge your phone using an internal battery and then give you a larger display, keyboard, trackpad to use your phone again as a productivity and content consumption machine. Really, I think laying the groundwork for a future, at least conceptually, where our smartphones were the only computer we would need. For the most part, right? I mean, you still know sometimes you will need a desktop operating system, Windows or otherwise. So, what went wrong? Well, it was poorly executed, it was expensive, it was proprietary per generation because this was launched alongside flagship Android phones by Motorola on different carriers. It just, it was everything that could screw it up, did screw it up. And most importantly, when Motorola was acquired by Google, again, roughly 10 years ago, they totally killed the project off because it just wasn't part of their vision for the Android operating system, which is ironic considering this was pretty much an always-on Chromebook before there ever was one. And I don't mean this. So here in 2022, we're looking at a product UPERFECT launched in 2020 because no one else has done the right thing and given us a modern lapdock, if you will. The beauty is this is compatible with everything, not just smartphones, laptops, tablets, whatever you want to use that has a video out, you pretty much can. The keyboard is detachable. We have a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, a 15.6 inch 4K 10-point multi-touch 60 hertz panel. It's a gorgeous IPS panel. It's right up there at the top of the line with all competing products in the portable monitor space. The only thing I would say is better than it, an OLED, which is also significantly more expensive, and you're not going to get a built, you may get a built-in battery, but you will not get a detachable keyboard. In terms of the I/O, and it's I/O, and I'll explain why, we've got a pretty good port selection here that I'm having trouble getting into focus because of the keyboard. Let's just move that out of the way. In fact, I may just flip this over altogether. So we've got an HDMI port and two Type-C ports. The top one you see has an LED indicator. That is to let you know that it's charging because that is dedicated for power delivery. And you'll only need to give this power, of course, when the internal battery no longer has any juice. Out of the box from the manufacturer, I think I had about a 50% charge. The hinge on this is excellent. All portable monitors should have hinges like this now. It's time. The case hinge system is not a favorite of mine. Pogo connection there for the keyboard at the bottom. Just really nice metal construction on this slate, if you will. And then, of course, we have our audio jack right there. And then another Type-C port, which is great because you could use that to power something if you wanted. That's why I called this I/O. You do have the ability to use that 10,000 milliamp hour battery with other devices. And then you've got a rocker switch there for dealing with the on-screen display menu. So one thing I will tell you is that, well, really two, with the keyboard, again, it works well. The trackpad works well. It delivers on what it's supposed to do. But the actual design, I think, leaves a little bit to be desired. I'd like to see, a flat keyboard. I know they're trying to be minimalist and literally use as little hardware as possible, but I've seen things like this before in the past. I think we could do without it. But overall, I think everything works as it should. But the keyboard connection using that Pogo port, that is one area where we absolutely need to see improvement. It might be my biggest critique of this altogether. And you can see when you actually connect it, it just is, it's a fidgeter. What can I say? It's like sometimes it connects, sometimes it doesn't, and it just, right now it is connected, but it's really a matter of luck is what I would say as to whether or not it's going to hit correctly. And then the other thing you need to know is that the actual kickstand, even though it goes 180 degrees, be aware that once you pass a certain point, the weight of the actual device will drop it down. So you don't really want to work with it like that. For example, it's holding right now, but take my word for it, it doesn't always hold position. So be selective on how you use the kickstand. It may just be my kickstand, so I don't think it's an issue, but it's still something to be aware of. Let's go ahead and connect this to my Z Fold 3, and you will immediately see DeX power on. And it's just impressive how far things of this nature have come. And that's why I wanted to share with all of you the history of the Lapdock concept, because it really is something that we should have devices to accommodate like this. And this does a good job. It isn't a perfect product, but again, you have an excellent display. You have pretty solid battery life. We're right now at about 28%. You can see it up there in the right corner. And it's going to charge your device while you use your device as, again, a full-blown computing solution. And if you have a high-end phone, it's going to shine, both in terms of the touchscreen display, as well as, of course, just using it as a computer, as you're seeing right now. So you can see I've got CNN open here, and whatever you want to go to, obviously, you're using your phone. So the performance of what you're seeing on screen now is really going to depend solely on the quality of the device it's connected to. Because when it comes to latency, it's pretty much nil on this. Color accuracy is excellent. And all of the on-screen stuff, you just press in the actual rocker I showed earlier. You can see your input selection. And then you have your volume right here, your brightness right there. I am all the way up to 95. It's going to look a little blown out. Let's adjust that. I'll dial it down a little. And then you can go into different modes. Of course, that's game mode. We were in standard. We have movie mode. We also have text mode, first-person shooter. So, gaming profiles are on there as well. I pretty much have lived inside of standard, but if I was going to pick another, it probably would be the gaming mode. It's really a matter of personal preference here. And it's just a clean, easy-to-use system. And when you're done with it, just discard it and essentially move on. Once you close it out, the touchscreen is back in action. Using this, however you plan to, is going to be fairly simple. And I say that the Warriors won the finals, for those of you that missed that. Pretty amazing comeback there, even though, my Knicks are my Knicks. But everything just works as it should. And the beauty here is that to be able to do this with your smartphone is something I've been chasing since Lapdocks went away. Because this at 1.8 pounds, and even at a little over $500, makes a lot more sense than saying to someone, just buy a tablet. And I'll explain why. As a Lapdock, I'm not going to tell all of you you need to run out and purchase this, because as a Lapdock, it works, but I feel like it does still need some more polish. Whether it's, what I've pointed out about the keyboard, or the fact that the kickstand can sag a little bit. That's not heavy critique, in my opinion. But it's more about the fact that this is not tailored to the phone. What I would love to see, which is hopefully something we will get down the road, is a way to actually dock your phone. If we could somehow reboot that design concept, even though some people may think it's not necessary and this is fine, and I am totally fine with this, by the way. It's just a wish list for me. I'd love to see that come back. It would be ideal. On the other hand, I don't think it's at all necessary, because what you have here is still a great product. If your battery dies, which mine is going down, I can't see it right now, you can always plug it in. In addition to that, you can easily jump in and out of true desktop applications now, which is another huge bonus, a major benefit. And if you're shopping portable monitors, well, this is a no-brainer. And that is really my approach to anyone trying to figure out more so whether they need a lap dock. It's more about, do you want to have a portable 4K touchscreen monitor that's really nice, that just happens to have a detachable keyboard and built-in battery? And I approach it from that direction because when you're looking at 4K portable monitors like this with touchscreen, 400 is par for the course for an excellent panel. To pay a little over 100 more to get that internal battery and keyboard, well, obviously, if you're going to use it primarily with a smartphone, that is the ideal capacity. But if you were planning on doing anything else with it, if you were thinking, you might want to use it as a dedicated 4K monitor for a Windows machine or anything else, you've got that flexibility because this keyboard is just going to pop off, as you saw. So that to me is, one of the excellent ways you can use this. Truly excellent. And I can't tell you can do that with a regular portable monitor, but you still will spend, for a panel of this quality. Again, the only option better would be to go to a touchscreen OLED, which $700-800, $900, significantly more money. You may have a built-in battery. You won't have a detachable keyboard. And, that's, in my opinion, a big difference. I have been using this quite a bit. The battery does run down fairly quickly if you're charging your phone. If you turn that off, obviously, you'll get much more lifespan out of it. But as long as it's got to power itself as well as top off your phone, well, you're going to see the battery shrink fairly quickly, the battery life, that is. Let's just go ahead and check out some 4K content, shall we? Because that's something I'm sure many of you want to see. We'll start off with the LG demo. And I just think this is more about just having a versatile product than is it a good lap dock. Because, lap docks are great when they're a thing. Not the best angle for this, but I think it'll be serviceable. I think you get the idea. You're not going to have a stunner from the audio performance, but when it comes to video performance, it really is excellent. It is high gloss, which I know you can all see with that reflection that you're getting. But again, I think this is ideal if, like me, you've been waiting for something like this. I think it still needs more polish. I've said this over and over again, and that's why I think the best advice I can give any of you as to, answering whether or not this is worth the purchase really boils down to whether or not you're already shopping a portable monitor. If you could see yourself, if you actually have a good use for a portable monitor already, then to me, the premium that you will pay for this lap dock is easily worth it. On the other hand, if you're looking for a budget portable display that doesn't have to be touchscreen, it's full HD, then this is not something you're going to consider. But if you're shopping high-end portable displays, this to me should be on your checklist. For the little bit of a premium you're going to pay, this gives you a much more unique piece of hardware that is a standalone product that happens to also be a portable monitor as a standalone product. So kudos to UPERFECT. I think they did a great job with this. A little bit more polish with the Pogo connection and the keyboard design. I'm sure that'll come in another refresh. This is their second generation. And I think they've got a great product that many of you are going to enjoy using who want to travel light, still have a tablet experience, but don't want to bring more devices with you. And if you do happen to bring a laptop with you, well, you'll just have a second display, right? With great build quality and great overall panel quality. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe and please stay safe. Later.